All right, video 2, out of order at my wife's discretion. We're actually jumping over to Warrior of the Mind, which is normally the finale of this first arc, made by Animatic by Spacebar.
I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones for Warrior of the Mind. We might do other ones afterwards, but this one takes place during The Horse and the Infant, and I think it's such an interesting way that I feel like should actually introduce Athena and her dynamic with Odysseus a lot earlier.
And while Odysseus is having a crisis of conscience in the second song, I agree with you that it would make more sense for Athena to step in and say her piece then, as opposed to when she does after the song with Polites. But I'll trust you for this one.
Okay,
I will say
so
just off the bat.
You what?
I was gonna say off the bat, this gives me a lot of hope that this is gonna be a banger video. This is a really cool battlefield.
Again, this
out.
One's my favorite. No offense to anyone who has done anything else, but trying to keep on my train of thought. I have seen other animatics where Athena's dynamic with Zeus is also woven in a little bit better, and she's kind of got a daddy's girl vibe to her, so she would agree with Zeus in this instant. And there is an animatic specifically for the last song, Would You Fall in Love With Me Again, that has a resolution kind of between her and Zeus that I feel like you could have as a sidebar, or not sidebar, sorry, side plot woven throughout Epic.
Would be cool.
Visually, anyway. And I feel like this would be a good response to her dad.
Yeah. On that note, let's get into Song 5. Haha.
Yeah. Haha. It's definitely...
Have you forgotten the lessons I taught you?
Athena!
Have you forgotten to turn off your heart? This is not you. I see you changing from how I've designed you.
Ah, man, her grabbing the sword is... That's kind of hot. Like,
also, Tegan, I love you. You're not gonna watch this, but I love you. I'm such a big fan.
Like, as far as favorite characters go, man, Tegan's performance of Athena is... Everyone in this musical gives an S-tier performance, but like that Tegan can flex.
It's the vocal rasp for me, especially later on in God's Games when she's like, "Oh, Ares," and like I don't know how
Ares.
I don't know how you do that.
But this depiction, this animator, yeah, that's. Anyways.
I see you changing from how I've designed you. Have you forgotten your purpose? Let me remind you.
Get dunked on.
Yeah, I absolutely love that when there's a transition into, I forget what the move is called.
Quick Thought?
Quick Thought. That it's underwater. I don't know. I think that's really cool. But I do prefer the canon where it's very Kingdom Hearts.
And just, yeah, like, seeing the different animators take on Quick Thought, some of them are just, like, pausing time, some of them just soul punch Odysseus' soul out of her body. Watch here, let's wind that back a little bit, I want to see that.
Purpose, let me remind you.
Grabs him by the throat.
It's the manhandling for me. It's a little bit hot when she does it.
But, like, literally grabs him by the throat, rears, and dunks him through the floor into the beneath. Ah, man, that is hype shit.
You, goddess of wisdom, master of war. My life has one mission: create the greatest warrior.
I trained all those would-be heroes. Odysseus, Perseus, Theseus, a lot of yusses. And every single one of those bums let me down, flatter than a discus. None of them could go the distance.
I had a challenge, a test of skill, a magic bar only the best could kill. One day a boy came for the thrill, a boy whose mind rivaled the bars.
Okay, so I really love the string fun things she's doing here. That's what I wish a lot of. I'm not okay. I shouldn't say that. I don't.
The Cat's Cradle.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to say this without offending any of the animators, but this is my headcanon for what Athena is doing and what she should do. Like, again, similar to the way Zeus handles Odysseus and the way Circe does it, I kind of like that there's strings attached, you know?
Which is a very common iconography, that the threads of fate, and especially in Greek, the thread of the soul, having her weaving the threads of fate into a cat's cradle loom, that is some really cool iconography, because she is like reaching in and twisting Odysseus's fate, making him into something that he's not. And I'll agree with you, the visual of entangling and disentangling the strings into patterns, that is some real cool stuff.
That is something that I wish I'm just saying that if there was a movie, if there was an animated musical, I would love to see this.
Yeah, like
specifically. Sorry, other animatics or other animators, other artists. I really vibe with this.
Like one of those things that can ascend a visual component of media from being excellent to being just truly great.
I also love that it's blue here compared to everything else.
Yeah,
it makes it feel more important.
A little bit of color, yeah, always good. But how you work a visual component into otherwise conversational scenes, because it, as the writer for Calvin and Hobbes famously said, having just two heads talking back and forth is boring, which if you've ever read Calvin and Hobbes, they are frequently put in their red wagon and sent over a cliff, because drawing them in a wagon going over a cliff is a lot more fun of a visual component for their sometimes more philosophical discussions. And I totally agree with that, in that if you have characters that are having more of a conversation and there's less direct action to animate, seeing how different animators fill that kind of void of motion or void of action is a really cool thing, and I love this way of doing it. It's good stuff.
I love it so much.
Let's go! Maybe one day he'll follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know.
Obligatory K.O.
Yeah, one thing I do like about other animatics specifically is that I do like Odysseus is having fun with Eurylochus and Polites as children. I feel like that weaves them better into the story as well. But one thing I do hope for something, if this were to hit a stage or a movie or anything like that, is that they do actually get a kid to sing this part, because it is a flashback.
Yeah. That is one of the drawbacks of this song, is that Mr. Jalapeno, being Jorge Rivera Herranz, hopefully I'm not butchering that name, a little bit easier to say Mr. Jalapeno, that's kind of his internet nickname. It's when he is just singing as young Odysseus here, and we'll talk about that when we get to young Odysseus. We're putting
But this is young Odysseus.
It is, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Has he not? He said,
No.
let's go.
One line. When he gets a singing part, we'll talk about that. But also, that is 100% Goku hair, confirmed. Odysseus is a Saiyan. You can't change my mind. It's headcanon now.
Make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know he'll change the world, 'cause he's a warrior of the Maybe one day I'll reach him and we can build his skills as I teach him. If there's a problem, he'll have the answer. He's a warrior of the light.
Also, pause it real fast. One thing I would love to see more of just in this part is just Odysseus, young Odysseus specifically, go through more of the forest or the jungle or wherever they're at, Tarzan style. I would love to see all of like
Motion?
The motion, but specifically in Tarzan, Disney's Tarzan, with the vine surfing or the tree trunk surfing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, the tree trunk surfing.
Because that was awesome.
I mean, that is cool. I was going to say, I love that this animatic specifically has another soldier wound the boar, and then let Odysseus have that aha moment of, oh, it has a soft underbelly, I need to strike it from below.
Well, I see, that's another thing I wanted to say before we go on, specifically with the boar. I would love to see Odysseus defeat this boar in a way that is similar to Polyphemus later on.
Like drugging it or trapping it?
Drugging it or trapping it, but anything that would foreshadow that boss later on.
That would be a cool bit of foreshadowing to do, but something more interesting than just he and his friends stab it, and this definitely meets that mark, because she mentions it being a test of will, but it's cleverness.
Yeah, well, you also need to be a warrior of the mind, and I feel like of the mind insinuates that you also have to be clever, which Odysseus is also known to do. He's very manipulative. He's very
cunning.
Yes.
He is very cunning, and in my humble opinion, the best way to animate this fight is in a way where he fells the boar with some kind of cunning.
Well, cunning and strength, I feel like, yes.
Yeah. Anyways.
Show yourself. I know you're watching me. Show yourself. I can see you.
How can
Wait,
you
I'm
see
sorry.
through my spell?
Dial that back. Odysseus, like, you talking about me?
How can you see
Yeah,
through
one thing
my
I do
spell?
actually love about this animatic especially is that Odysseus is also just up in the tree watching all of this, so it's part flashback, but it's also his present. He gets to see the memory, whereas most people it's just straight flashback.
Yeah.
The other thing that I do like about other animatics, though, is that usually Athena is disguised already as the owl, and the owl is the spell that he's seeing through.
Very, very fun.
Yeah.
Athena is her animal of choice. That's not the right word.
The owl is kind of the thing that she turns into.
Yeah, she is owl coded. Owls. Just say owl 5 times in a row without any intelligent thought. Owlthena, that's the one. And then Owl Odysseus later on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was lying, and you fell for my bluff.
Well done, enlighten me, what's your name?
You first, and maybe I'll do the same.
Nice try, but two can play this game.
I like that little bit. I love, like, present Odysseus, like, playing along. Like, this is his memory, so it's so cute. I love when animators just automatically add the humor, because I don't feel like this is a musical that leads a lot into the humor outside of just a couple of moments.
Yeah.
And it's just cute.
Which is always, like, it's a very serious story. It is a drama, but it does have some comedic moments in the music. And it's always fun when the animators add in their own little bits of comedy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, modern Odysseus being like, I remember too, kind of mocking her a little bit. Mm-hmm. Very funny.
Mm-hmm. Who can play this game?
Nah, don't be modest. I know you're a goddess, so let's be honest. You are Athena. Athena, badass. Arena.
Gotta pause for that though.
So let's be honest. You are Athena.
This is definitely a me thing, but I just fucking love it.
Title cards?
Yes, I love title cards for characters. I love, like, big, imposing shots of them in a really cool stance with, like, their name splashed across the background.
It is very, like, 90s X-Men.
Yeah, like 90s X-Men or Borderlands. If you've ever played Borderlands 1 or 2, anytime you meet a character, every important character gets their own drama shot title card with, like, a quick one-liner joke about them. I love it when stuff does that. Not enough things do cool title card intros like this. Is it immersion breaking? I don't care. It's cool and I love it.
Oh, I mean, I think you can just get away with a lot more for animated stuff, you know? That's why I would want to see this be animated rather than have it be stage or live action. Sorry, I know people also want the stage musical. I want an animated movie because I grew up on Disney and DreamWorks and Prince of Egypt and all that.
And I will agree on animated versus a movie, because, like, an official movie, that has to be serious. That has to take itself seriously. A lot of movies, like, take themselves very seriously, and the ones that don't take themselves seriously, a lot of the times they don't really go in good directions. I love that a lot of the animators, like you said, putting in little jokes, making the characters occasionally cute, doing a big giant title card splash like this. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie do something like that, but it's perfectly at place in an animation and in an animatic.
Yeah.
Especially with it being the character's big proper introduction
Also,
with it.
I mean,
Athena.
Also, I think it would be really fun to see an anime of this as well.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be animated in the Western sense of the word. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about that.
Athena, badass in the arena, unmatched witty and queen of the best strategies we've seen.
If you're looking for a mentor, I'll make sure your time's well spent.
Sounds like a plan, God isn't man, best is a friend.
We'll see where it ends.
Foreshadowing!
Yeah, I love that, she has the string already. And I've told you about this in my goodbye, or I love the idea of them severing that bond quite literally.
Yeah.
But moreover, I also I know you paused it for a reason, and I'm getting in the way of that. But because I am so bad at losing my train of thought, I'm just going to speak first. But, there's another animatic that has Warrior of the Mind. I don't remember who the person was, but they specifically had Odysseus kiss Athena's hand, or try to. And I really love that. I hope that would be also part of an animated movie if they did that, because
we love cute and hot Odysseus.
yeah, I love him being a little bit flirtatious, because that's also part of his canonical personality, at least in the Odyssey.
Especially since at this point he hasn't met Penelope yet, I'm pretty sure.
Well, he's also just 10 years old.
Yeah, but like Athena.
Yeah.
Eh.
Mommy.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but Athena is definitely mommy.
Like, in my mind, if there was a live action actress who would play her, I would want them to embody the way Tegan looks. So I'm kind of picturing the Scarlet Witch, or at least one Maximoff from...
Really?
Yeah, just blue,
I mean, I guess, but like if I was casting, I'd go full Amazonian. Let's get the tall, muscular, ripped, like...
I mean, fair enough.
Lean heavily into the crush your head between her thighs like a watermelon archetype.
No, I would definitely want them to be modeled more after Tegan, like how later animatics currently do that.
Or just cast Tegan.
That's fine, too.
I don't know if anyone could match Tegan's vocals, let's be real.
I'm just saying that I really would want them to have the Wanda Maximoff type of design, but blue.
Fair enough.
Maybe one day they'll follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know we'll change the world, 'cause we are the warriors of the...
Parkour! I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on! Yeah!
If there's a problem, we'll have the answer. We are the warriors.
Okay, so I said already that this is giving me One Jump Ahead vibes, but I don't know if that's what I'm actually going for.
I was thinking
it specifically, like, it's reminding me of another Disney movie.
It's also feeling a lot like Hercules' training montage.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Like with the pillars and the acrobatics and the hero training, which
I would love to see in an animated musical if it is done by Disney, which it probably won't be because fuck Disney. But I would love to see some throwbacks to that as well. I think that would be really fun.
Perseus, Theseus, Odysseus, lot of yesses. But could any of them go the distance?
Do you think
no?
Odysseus was actually trained by Philoctetes?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
If anyone knows, let me know if he ever came across Philoctetes.
Canonically, according to as canonical as old legends get.
Yeah.
Don't forget that you're a warrior of a very special kind. You are a warrior of the mind. disappoint me.
I mean, it's over.
Yeah. But I love that. First of all, Spacebar,
Have you
you're amazing.
forgotten the lessons
You're amazing.
I was waiting for the link plug to pause so we could have their tag on
but
screen for a
I
bit.
do want to say, I know I said it at the top of the video, but I do love that this is Athena being a daddy's girl.
A little bit.
And incorporating her a lot earlier into the story. Like, granted, I don't think it should be the full Warrior of the Mind. I think it should be something quicker, include it towards the end of the Horse and the Infant, where she's just, have you forgotten the lessons that I taught you, in a very similar way that she does at the end of Remember Them.
Which is one of the things that this musical does, it to segue sideways but then dovetail it back in.
Mm-hmm.
This musical is fantastic about reprising musical themes from previous songs to bring them up later, to bring in previous emotions and iconography and scenery. I think that the direction you're going for is like a musical reprise, but backwards. You include just a couple of the key motifs from Warrior of the Mind, kind of in between The Horse and the Infant and the next song, Just a Man, and that way you do get Athena leaning in, being like, hey, you've got to do this, turn off your heart, it has to happen, because that speech does make a lot of sense to happen here in the story. Spacebar,
yes.
I love the idea you had to shuffle the song order a little bit. It's a very unique take on this song,
Yeah, so
and it's good. It's
what
good
I
stuff.
would pitch is that rather than have Zeus's iconography through the crow or the eagle or whatever they use, is have it be Athena instead, and then once Zeus is gone, you just see her and she starts singing, have you forgotten the lessons I taught you? And that's kind of the thing that makes Odysseus, because he trusts Athena so much, go through with killing the infant.
So have Zeus in the clouds laying down his ultimatum, but then have Athena's owl going in, and then let Zeus fade out for a bit, and then Athena's owl gets the pre-reprise, the pre-prize.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that's called. I'm sure it has an actual name. But
Probably, but I'm not
an expert.
I'm not a music major.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a music major. I'm not a movie major. I just have ideas.
I just have loud opinions about things that I don't know very much about.
Yeah. So, on to the next.
On to the next. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've somehow watched 2 videos and you haven't quit yet, again, please drop a comment so I know that you're real. Validate my crippling ego. It really is gigantic. It needs eternal positive confirmation, but even more than that, go check out Spacebar on their Twitter and TikTok. Give them some love. Give their original animatic video some love on YouTube. And that's the end of this.
That'll be it. Bye, guys.
We're not even doing an outros. We're just hard cut.